The story of Cristiano Ronaldo is not merely a sports narrative. It is a modern-day epic of human will, a blueprint for transforming absolute scarcity into absolute abundance. To comprehend the magnitude of his journey, one must begin in the forgotten periphery of Europe, on the small, volcanic Portuguese island of Madeira. Born on February 5, 1985, in the modest São Pedro parish of Funchal, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro entered a world of tangible limitations. He was the youngest of four children to Maria Dolores dos Santos, a cook, and José Diniz Aveiro, a municipal gardener and part-time kitman for a local football club. The family's financial struggles were severe, living in a cramped, tin-roofed house where young Cristiano shared a room with his siblings. His father's battle with alcoholism added a layer of complexity to a childhood already defined by lack. Yet within this environment of scarcity, a singular obsession took root: football. The streets of Funchal became his first cathedral, the uneven cobblestones his training ground. He would play for hours, his mother's calls for dinner often ignored, using a ball made of rags when a proper one was unavailable. This was not just play, it was an escape and the first manifestation of a relentless drive. His early talent was recognized when he joined his father's amateur club, Andorinha, at age 7. His prodigious goal-scoring quickly propelled him to the local professional club, Nacional da Madeira. However, his first major existential test came at the age of 11. He traveled to Lisbon for a trial with the prestigious Sporting CP Academy in Lisbon. The verdict from the coaches was a crushing rejection. He was deemed too small, too thin, and technically inadequate. To compound this, he was diagnosed with a racing heartbeat, a condition known as tachycardia, with doctors suggesting it could end his athletic aspirations. This moment, a potential terminus for any dream, became the foundational crucible for Ronaldo's psychology. His family, especially his mother, chose defiance. They proceeded with a laser surgery to correct his heart condition. The physical limitation was eradicated, but the psychological scar of rejection became his permanent fuel. He made a conscious, pre-teen decision. He would outwork every single person he ever encountered. He began a self-imposed training regimen, building not only skill, but also the muscular physique that would later define him. This ethos of alchemical transformation, turning weakness into supreme strength, was permanently encoded into his DNA. At age 12, having impressed in a second trial, he received the life-altering offer to join Sporting CP's famed Alcochete Academy in Lisbon. It meant leaving his struggling family and his island home, a painful sacrifice he undertook alone. In Lisbon, he faced bullying from mainland peers who mocked his rustic Madeiran accent, branding him a small islander. The loneliness was profound, but it only intensified his resolve. While other academy boys slept, Ronaldo practiced dribbling in the dark. He rejected the cafeteria's fatty foods, beginning a lifelong commitment to dietary science that borders on the monastic. He was building, brick by psychological brick, the fortress of self-belief that would make him impervious to future doubt. His progression through Sporting's ranks was meteoric, becoming the only player ever to play for the club's U16, U17, U18, B team, and first team all within a single season. His style was unmistakable, a blend of breathtaking speed, audacious technical flair, and a palpable, almost unnerving hunger. The catalyst for his global ascent occurred on a warm August night in 2003. Sporting CP was inaugurating its new Estadio José Alvalade with a friendly against the English powerhouse Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson's team, packed with stars, was dismantled by an 18-year-old winger wearing the number 28 jersey. Ronaldo's performance was so destructively elegant, so full of cunning dribbles and fearless runs, that Manchester United's seasoned defenders reportedly pleaded with Ferguson to sign him immediately after the first half. The legendary manager, a master of spotting transcendent talent, needed no persuasion. Within days, a deal was struck for £12.24 million, and Cristiano Ronaldo arrived at Old Trafford, bestowed with the club's most storied shirt, the number 7, previously worn by icons like George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham. The pressure was instant and immense. His early years in the physically demanding English Premier League were a period of dazzling yet unrefined potential. Critics labeled him a show pony, accusing him of excessive stepovers, selfish play, and a tendency to dive. The British media scrutinized his every move, and hardened defenders targeted him with brutal tackles. This is where the second chapter of his education began, under the masterful mentorship of Sir Alex Ferguson. Ferguson acted as a protective father figure, shielding the young Portuguese from the media storm while simultaneously instilling in him the virtues of teamwork, efficiency, and consistency. Ferguson's genius was in harnessing Ronaldo's flamboyance and channeling it into a ruthless end product. The transformation was systematic and spectacular. Ronaldo's already formidable physique was sculpted further in the gym. He became stronger, faster, and more powerful in the air. His game evolved from that of a tricky winger to a devastating goal-scoring machine operating across the entire forward line. The pinnacle of his Manchester United chapter arrived in the 2007-2008 season. He scored an astonishing 42 goals in all competitions, propelling United to a Premier League and UEFA Champions League double. He won his first FIFA Ballon d'Or at age 23, dethroning the established order. He had conquered England, but his ambition was cosmic. In the summer of 2009, he initiated a world record transfer to Real Madrid for £80 million, declaring it his childhood dream. His mission was no longer just to be the best player, it was to become the greatest player in the history of the most prestigious club in the world. His 9 years at Real Madrid were a relentless symphony of broken records and collected trophies. He arrived as a Galactico and left as a living legend. At Madrid, he perfected the art of goal scoring into a precise, relentless science. His physical regimen became the stuff of myth. He reportedly employed a team of personal trainers, nutritionists, and physiotherapists, turning his body into a perfectly optimized machine. He installed a cryotherapy chamber in his home, slept in meticulously controlled conditions, and followed a strict diet that eliminated sugar and processed foods. On the pitch, his numbers defied belief. He became Real Madrid's all-time top scorer with 451 goals in 438 appearances, a ratio beyond comprehension. He won 4 more Champions League titles with the club, including an unprecedented 3 in a row from 2016 to 2018, cementing his status as the competition's greatest performer. His rivalry with Barcelona's Lionel Messi pushed both men to superhuman heights, defining an era. Yet Ronaldo's identity was always rooted in more than just statistics. It was rooted in a mindset he called mentalidade, a Portuguese term for a winning mentality that combined arrogance, confidence, and an unshakable belief in his own destiny. He celebrated goals with his iconic "See you" scream, a branding of his triumph that echoed in stadiums worldwide. After conquering Spain, he sought new frontiers, moving to Juventus in 2018 and then returning spectacularly to Manchester United in 2021. His move to Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League in 2023 was another calculated step, not an end, but a new chapter in empire building, with an annual salary estimated at over $200 million, making him the highest-paid athlete in the world. Parallel to his on-pitch saga is the evolution of his carefully curated lifestyle and family unit, which he fiercely protects. His relationship with Argentinian-born Spanish model and businesswoman Georgina Rodriguez is the cornerstone of his private world. They met in 2016 while she was working as a sales assistant in a Gucci store in Madrid, a modern-day fairy tale. Unlike his previous, more discreet relationships, Ronaldo has fully integrated Georgina into his public and private life. Together, they represent a power couple built on shared ambition and family values. The Ronaldo-Rodriguez family is a beautiful blend. Ronaldo is father to 4 children: Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., whose mother's identity Ronaldo has legally protected, and twins Eva and Matteo, born in 2017 via surrogate. Georgina gave birth to their daughter Alana Martina in 2017, and in 2022, the family was tragically touched by the loss of one of the twins, a son named Angel, during birth, a profound sorrow Ronaldo has spoken about with raw emotion. Georgina is more than a partner. She is a co-CEO of their brand. She manages a significant portion of his business interests, runs her own highly successful fashion and beauty lines, and is a formidable social media influencer in her own right, with tens of millions of followers. Their lifestyle, as glimpsed through social media, is one of ultra-luxury, but also of discipline. Their homes in Madrid, Turin, and Riyadh are modern fortresses featuring Olympic-sized pools, private gyms with cryotherapy and hyperbaric chambers. If the first chapter of Cristiano Ronaldo's life was defined by the forging of an indomitable will in the fires of poverty and rejection, and the second by his ascension to global superstardom under the bright lights of Manchester United and Real Madrid, then this third chapter is defined by something even more powerful: the conscious construction of a legacy. By the mid-2010s, Ronaldo was no longer just a player, he was an institution. His move from Real Madrid to Juventus in 2018 for a fee of €100 million sent shockwaves through the football world, not merely as a transfer, but as a strategic pivot. At 33, an age where most elite forwards contemplate decline, Ronaldo was entering a new league, a new country, and a new challenge with the same ferocious appetite. Italy's Serie A is renowned for its tactical sophistication and defensive rigor, a league that prizes intelligence and efficiency over pure explosive flair. For Ronaldo, this was not an obstacle, but a new laboratory. He adapted his game once more, transforming from a ubiquitous goal threat into an even more lethal penalty box predator. His movement became more economical, his positioning more cunning. At Juventus, he won 2 Serie A titles and a Coppa Italia, becoming the first player to win domestic championships in England, Spain, and Italy. More importantly, he became the fastest player in Juventus history to score 100 goals for the club. This period underscored a critical truth about Ronaldo. His physical peak was prolonged by an almost scientific mastery of his own biology. His daily routine was leaked, studied, and marveled at. 5 small, protein-rich meals a day, consumed at precise 3-hour intervals, sleeping in 5 90-minute cycles with a personal sleep coach monitoring his rest, post-training sessions in a cryotherapy chamber set at -160°C to reduce inflammation, and a relentless weight and cardio regimen that left teammates decades younger in awe. His home gyms were better equipped than most professional clubs, featuring underwater treadmills, anti-gravity technology, and hyperbaric oxygen chambers. This was no longer just training, it was advanced human performance engineering. He treated his body not as a gift, but as the ultimate piece of machinery in his quest for enduring greatness. The purpose was clear: to defy time itself. This chapter also marks a full blossoming of his life with Georgina Rodriguez and the conscious crafting of the Ronaldo family brand. While his relationship with Georgina began in 2016, it was during his Juventus years and beyond that their partnership evolved into a powerful, synergistic empire. Georgina is far from a passive companion. A former shop assistant who studied business and English, she possesses a sharp, entrepreneurial mind. She has seamlessly stepped into the role of managing vast swaths of Ronaldo's commercial portfolio. Her own brand, through social media and fashion collaborations, boasts a valuation in the tens of millions. Together, they present a unified front of discipline, luxury, and familial devotion. Their social media feeds are a masterclass in curated storytelling. One moment they are depicted in matching luxury pajamas in their sprawling Turin mansion, the children playing with expensive, minimalist toys on a pristine white rug. The next, they are on a $20 million yacht off the coast of Majorca, with Ronaldo performing intricate dribbling drills on the deck while his sons watch. Then, a video shows the entire family in their private cinema watching The Lion King, a moment of relatable normalcy amidst the opulence. They celebrate Christmas with a tree dwarfing a room, surrounded by a mountain of meticulously wrapped gifts from elite brands, yet the caption emphasizes family is everything. This duality is intentional. It sells a dream of unparalleled success that is still grounded in relatable values. The tragic loss of their son, Angel, during birth in April 2022 added a layer of profound humanity to this carefully constructed image. Ronaldo and Georgina's public grief, shared in raw, emotional posts, connected them to millions on a deeply personal level, transforming their narrative from one of mere glamour to one of resilience and love. This event further solidified their family unit, with Georgina stating in interviews that the tragedy made them stronger than ever. By 2023, the family's move to Saudi Arabia following Ronaldo's groundbreaking transfer to Al Nassr represented the next logical step in their global lifestyle brand. Their compound in Riyadh is a testament to this new phase, a gated oasis with multiple villas, football pitches, a full-size gym, and separate living quarters for staff. Here, the lifestyle is adapted to a new culture but maintains its core tenets: privacy, excellence, and family-centric activity. The children are enrolled in elite international schools, and their daily routines, from tutoring to football practice with their father, are as structured as his own. Looking towards 2025, Cristiano Ronaldo's trajectory is focused on a multi-pronged strategy to cement a legacy that will outlast his playing days. On the field, his primary athletic goal is the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Leading Portugal to a deep run or even a historic victory would be the ultimate crown on his international career and final answer to his eternal debate with Lionel Messi. His performance at Al Nassr, where he continues to score at a phenomenal rate, is in service of maintaining peak condition for this final international hurrah. However, the football pitch is now just one arena in his vast empire. The CR7 brand is undergoing aggressive vertical integration. The partnership with Georgina is key here. They are moving beyond endorsement deals into ownership. Their hotel chain, Pestana CR7, with locations in Lisbon, Madrid, Marrakesh, and New York, planned for 2025, is not just a licensing deal. Ronaldo is a significant equity partner. These hotels are designed to reflect his personal aesthetic: modern, sleek, with state-of-the-art fitness centers and CR7-themed suites. His fitness brand, encompassing gyms, sportswear, and a soon-to-be-launched fitness app in 2024, aims to democratize his training philosophy for a mass market. Georgina is leading the charge on the lifestyle and fashion front. Her collaboration with major brands like Yamamai and her own beauty line are being folded into a larger CR7 lifestyle umbrella. There are plans for a family-oriented reality series or documentary, not on traditional television, but on a streaming platform they partially own or control, offering an intimate yet carefully managed look into their world. This is about controlling the narrative directly. Furthermore, Ronaldo's investments in digital spaces are significant. He holds a major stake in a blockchain-based fan token company and is exploring ventures in the metaverse, including virtual training sessions and digital merchandise. His social media accounts, the most followed athlete collective on the planet, are the engine of all this commerce. A single post promoting a CR7 product can generate millions in revenue within hours. His ambition for 2025 is to transition the CR7 brand from being associated primarily with football to being a globally recognized symbol of peak performance, luxury living, and family success, a brand that can thrive independently of his goals on a pitch.
Parallel to this is his philanthropic work, which he has strategically expanded. Through his donations to children's hospitals, funding for cancer research in honor of his father, and support for food banks in Portugal and Madeira, he is actively shaping his humanitarian legacy. In many ways, Cristiano Ronaldo in 2025 represents the zenith of the modern athlete entrepreneur. He is the CEO, the lead product, the marketing department, and the global ambassador of his own multinational corporation. The scrawny, heart-conditioned boy from Madeira has not only conquered football, but has built a blueprint for turning sporting genius into a perpetual multi-generational empire. His story teaches that greatness is not a moment, but a process, a relentless daily reconfirmation of a decision made in childhood to be the absolute best, and the wisdom to build a fortress of family and business to ensure that legacy echoes for generations to come.
Negotiable. By the time he laced his boots for Al Nassr in the Saudi Pro League in January 2023, the football world witnessed not a decline, but another calculated metamorphosis. This move, viewed by some as a retreat, was in reality a strategic expansion into a new frontier, both geographically and commercially. The reported annual remuneration of over $200 million made him the highest-paid athlete on the planet, but the significance transcended finances. Ronaldo was entering a region with colossal ambitions to become a global sports hub. His presence alone triggered what analysts now term the Ronaldo effect, causing a seismic shift in the football landscape. Player valuations in the league skyrocketed, global broadcast deals were negotiated, and a floodgate of international stars followed his path to the Gulf. On the pitch, his adaptation was immediate. In a league less tactically intense but physically demanding due to climate and pace, Ronaldo became the gravitational center of every match. He broke records with ease, becoming the fastest player to score 10 goals in the league and netting multiple hat-tricks. However, his role expanded beyond scoring. He became a de facto player manager, a mentor to young Saudi talents and seasoned professionals alike, often seen directing teammates, orchestrating set pieces, and delivering impassioned team talks. His work ethic set a new standard. He was frequently the first to arrive and the last to leave training, his personal physio and fitness team creating a mini high-performance bubble within the club. This period exemplifies Ronaldo's understanding that his influence must now leverage systemic change. He is not just playing football, he is elevating an entire league's profile, fulfilling a role as a cultural ambassador and a catalyst for growth, a responsibility he carries with the same seriousness as his goal-scoring duties. Concurrently, the Ronaldo Rodriguez family lifestyle has evolved into a meticulously managed global operation, with 2025 representing a key consolidation phase. Their residence in Riyadh is more than a home, it is a command center. The compound features separate villas for family, guests, and staff, a full-sized football pitch with advanced irrigation systems to combat the desert heat, multiple swimming pools, an indoor play complex for the children, and a wellness center complete with cryotherapy, hyperbaric oxygen, and physiotherapy rooms. Georgina's role as the chief operations officer of their domestic and commercial life has never been more pronounced. She manages a staff of over 15, including chefs, nannies, personal assistants, security, and trainers, ensuring that the machine runs with seamless efficiency. The children's schedules are a reflection of their parents' worldviews. Cristiano Jr., at 14, is already training at the Al Nassr Youth Academy while receiving top-tier online education. The twins, Eva and Mateo, along with Alana, have a blend of tutoring, language lessons, Portuguese, Spanish, English, and Arabic, and structured creative play. Family time is sacrosanct and highly structured. Evenings are often dedicated to shared activities like swimming, video games, with Ronaldo a known enthusiast, or movie nights. Their vacations are strategic extensions of their brand.
The summer of 2024, for instance, saw them split time between a luxury villa in Mykonos, where they were photographed by paparazzi in coordinated designer swimwear, a subtle brand endorsement, and a more private retreat in the Swiss Alps, promoting an image of balanced glamour and tranquility. Georgina's social media during these trips is a curated mix of aspirational content and relatable motherhood moments, a duality that broadens their appeal. Their commitment to health is a family identity. Meals are prepared by a private chef following macronutrient plans tailored to each family member, with Ronaldo's diet remaining famously strict. Grilled chicken, fish, eggs, avocado, and complex carbohydrates, with no sugar or processed foods. The children are raised with this nutritional philosophy, understanding food as fuel from a young age. The vision for 2025 and beyond is characterized by three interconnected pillars. Legacy on the pitch. Ronaldo's eyes are unwaveringly fixed on the 2026 World Cup. His entire training regimen at Al Nassr is periodized with this goal in mind. He is working with sports scientists to optimize his endurance and explosive power for what will likely be his final major tournament. The objective is not just to participate, but to be the decisive force for Portugal, aiming to break his own record as the oldest goalscorer in World Cup history and to capture the one major trophy that has eluded him. The business empire. The CR7 brand is transitioning from athlete endorsement to a standalone global conglomerate. 2025 is slated for the launch of several key ventures. First, a premium lifestyle app that merges fitness, nutrition, and wellness, featuring personalized training programs from Ronaldo's coaches, meal plans from his chefs, and mindfulness content. Second, a major expansion of the CR7 fitness chain, with flagship centers opening in Riyadh, Dubai, New York, and London, offering not just gym facilities but holistic wellness retreats. Third, Georgina is spearheading CR7 Home, a line of luxury home furnishings and interior design inspired by their residences. They are also in advanced talks for a documentary series with a major streaming platform, offering unprecedented access, with the family retaining creative control and a significant equity share in the production. Philanthropic and social legacy. Beyond business, Ronaldo is institutionalizing his philanthropy. Plans are underway to formally establish the CR7 Foundation as a major global nonprofit focusing on children's health, cancer research, and supporting underprivileged athletes. A state-of-the-art pediatric cancer wing in a Lisbon hospital bearing his father's name is planned for a 2025 opening. Furthermore, he is investing in a network of football academies across Portugal, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia, aimed not just at talent identification, but at imparting his mentalidad philosophy of discipline and resilience. In essence, Cristiano Ronaldo in 2025 is the architect of his own eternity. He has moved from being a product of his circumstances to being the creator of his own universe, a universe where sport, family, commerce, and social impact orbit around the gravitational pull of his will. The boy who fought for recognition on the streets of Funchal now builds academies to grant others a chance. The athlete who was told his heart was too weak now funds research to mend the hearts of others. The man who became a symbol of individual brilliance now focuses on building systems, brands, and a family legacy that will endure. His journey underscores that the highest form of success is not merely at reaching the pinnacle, but in using that position to build a plateau so vast that others can rise upon it. Every meticulous meal, every pre-dawn training session, every business meeting, and every family moment is a deliberate brick in this everlasting edifice. The final whistle on his playing career will not be an end, but the opening of a new volume, written on his own terms in the ink of legacy.
Trophies and into the psychological architecture of the man, the very mindset or mentalidade that became the engine of his universe. This fourth chapter delves into the core principles that transformed talent into triumph, and how these principles are now being institutionalized into a legacy that aims to shape the future of sport, business and family. After conquering Europe's top leagues and initiating a new footballing era in Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo entered a phase of profound reflection and intentional legacy building. His daily life, even in its most private moments, is a ritualistic performance of these core beliefs. His infamous discipline is not merely about training, it is a form of self-actualization. He has spoken extensively about viewing his body as a separate entity, a machine he must constantly upgrade and fine-tune. This detachment allows for a ruthless objectivity in his self-improvement. A typical day in 2024, whether in Riyadh or during the summer in Marbella, begins before dawn. He sleeps in a specifically designed bedroom where temperature, humidity, and light are perfectly controlled to optimize recovery. His first act is hydration with specific alkalized water, followed by a light, protein-focused breakfast. His morning training at the Al Nasser facility is split into two parts, a high-intensity technical session with the ball, focusing on finishing from improbable angles and free kick precision, followed by a separate, grueling strength and conditioning regimen designed by his personal coach. This split ensures that his football skills are never sacrificed for athleticism, and vice versa. The afternoons are dedicated to recovery, a combination of cryotherapy, flotation tanks, and targeted physiotherapy. He then spends several hours on his business ventures, in meetings with his management team at Gestifute, reviewing designs for new CR7 products, or discussing strategy for his hotel chain. This is a critical shift. The athlete is now the executive, applying the same focus to quarterly reports as he once did to match analysis. His evenings are strictly reserved for family. Dinner is a sacred time where phones are banned and the conversation revolves around the children's days, their schooling, and their own budding interests in football, dance, or art. He is a hands-on father, often doing homework with the kids or teaching Cristiano Jr. specific dribbling moves in their home gym. This balance is not accidental. It is a carefully engineered ecosystem where professional ambition and familial love are not in conflict, but are mutually reinforcing. His relationship with Georgina is the cornerstone of this ecosystem. She is his emotional anchor and strategic partner. While he focuses on the macro vision of the CR7 empire, she manages the intricate details of brand collaborations, social media strategy, and the family's public image. Their partnership is a modern dynastic model built on mutual ambition and profound trust. Georgina's own rise from sales assistant to global influencer and businesswoman mirrors Ronaldo's journey, and together they represent a powerful narrative of self-made success. Their social media presence is a masterfully curated channel, but behind the scenes, their life is run with military precision. A staff of nearly 20, including security, chefs, nannies, tutors, and personal assistants, ensures that the daily machine operates flawlessly, freeing Ronaldo and Georgina to focus on high-level strategy and quality family time. The vision for 2025 is where these personal principles are projected onto a global canvas. It can be broken down into three concrete pillars: the athletic project for 2025 to 2026. All of Ronaldo's physical preparation is now singularly focused on the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Working with a dedicated team of bioscientists, his training is periodized in macro cycles that peak in the summer of 2026. This involves advanced biometric monitoring, neurotraining to improve decision-making speed, and a tailored nutrition plan that will evolve as the tournament approaches. His role at Al Nasser is dual: to maintain competitive sharpness and to act as a global ambassador for Saudi football, a role that includes input on league development and youth infrastructure. The expansion of the CR7 commercial empire, 2025 is earmarked for the launch of several groundbreaking ventures. First is the CR7 Performance subscription-based digital platform.
This is not a simple fitness app, it is an immersive ecosystem that will offer live and on-demand training sessions from Ronaldo and his coaches, personalized meal planning with recipes from his private chef, recovery tutorials, and mental conditioning modules. It aims to export his entire philosophy of excellence to a paying global audience. Secondly, in partnership with Georgina, they are launching a luxury lifestyle brand called CR7V, a play on CR7 and the Roman numeral for their family unit. This line will include high-end athleisure, watches, fragrances, and a curated home collection, directly competing in the space occupied by brands like Victoria Beckham or Ralph Lauren. Thirdly, they are developing a multimedia production company. The first project is an animated children's series, loosely based on the family's adventures, teaching values of teamwork and perseverance, slated for a late 2025 release on a major streaming service. The humanitarian and social legacy. This is the pillar Ronaldo is most passionate about in this stage of his life. The CR7 Foundation is being restructured into a formidable force. A major initiative is funding the construction of a state-of-the-art pediatric oncology center in Funchal, Madeira, his hometown, a full-circle moment for the boy who once dreamed in its streets. Furthermore, he is personally endowing scholarships for underprivileged athletes, not just in Portugal, but across Lusophone Africa and Brazil. He is also leveraging his influence in Saudi Arabia to advocate for and fund sports programs for girls and young women in the region, aligning with the kingdom's 2030 social reforms. This philanthropic work is strategically focused and deeply personal, designed to create tangible, lasting change in the communities he identifies with most strongly. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey from the precipice of rejection to the pinnacle of global influence is a masterclass in sustained self-creation. He long ago stopped being just a footballer. He became a symbol of a specific kind of willpower, one that refuses to accept limits imposed by birth, circumstance, or age. In 2025, we witness the maturation of this symbol into a solid, multifaceted institution. The frantic energy of the young prodigy has been replaced by the calculated, expansive vision of a patriarch and a mogul. Every aspect of his life, from the temperature of his bedroom to the launch of a new business vertical, is a calculated move in a grand strategy for enduring relevance. He is building a world where the name Ronaldo signifies not just spectacular goals, but a holistic standard of excellence in sport, in business, in family, and in giving back. The ultimate goal is no longer to win the next match, but to ensure that the philosophy that won him everything becomes a timeless blueprint for generations to come. The final chapter of his playing career is being written, but the first chapter of the Ronaldo dynasty is just beginning.
The narrative of Cristiano Ronaldo has always been one of relentless forward motion, a perpetual climbing of mountains, only to immediately sight higher peaks. As we approach 2025, this motion evolves from a personal quest into a systemic, generational project. This phase is characterized by a strategic pivot from being the central performer to becoming the chief architect of his family's future, his global brand's permanence, and his philosophical imprint on the sport itself. The setting may be the state-of-the-art facilities of Al Nassr or the sprawling minimalism of his Riyadh compound, but the mission is universal: to codify the CR7 methodology into a transferable doctrine of success. On the pitch, his role has transcended that of a traditional striker. He now operates as a tactical beacon and a psychological pillar for his team. In the 2024-2025 season with Al Nassr, his game intelligence shines brighter than ever. With perhaps a step less of his once untouchable explosive pace, he has mastered the art of spatial economy. His movement inside the box is a seminar in anticipation. He seems to arrive at the precise point where the ball will land, not through frantic effort, but through preemptive calculation.
He spends hours with analysts, studying not just opponents, but the kinetic patterns of his own teammates, optimizing his positioning to serve as the ultimate finisher and decoy. His leadership is vocal, demanding, and inspirational. Younger teammates speak of a palpable aura, a standard of perfection in every drill, every pass, every recovery session that lifts the entire group. He has become a player coach in spirit, often seen demonstrating techniques, organizing defensive set pieces, and mentoring the Saudi youth players on everything from nutrition to dealing with media pressure. This is legacy building in real time, ensuring his footballing intellect is implanted within the very fabric of the clubs and nations he represents. His physical regimen remains awe-inspiring, but has grown even more sophisticated. It now incorporates cutting-edge technology like neurofeedback training to enhance cognitive reaction times and blood flow restriction or BFR therapy to build muscle without the joint stress of heavy weights. His diet is monitored by a team of nutritionists who use continuous glucose monitors and gut microbiome analysis to tailor his food intake not just for performance, but for longevity and inflammation control. This scientific approach is the bedrock of his defiance of age, making his target of competing at the 2026 World Cup at the age of 41 not a fantasy, but a plausible project. Parallel to this athletic refinement is the deepening and professionalization of the Ronaldo Rodriguez family unit. The concept of family has expanded from a private sanctuary to the central brand narrative of their commercial empire. Georgina Rodriguez is now unequivocally the chief brand officer of this narrative. Her influence is evident in every facet. She oversees the creative direction for all CR7 and her own G. Rodriguez brand campaigns, ensuring they reflect a cohesive aesthetic of aspirational yet attainable luxury, centered on family wellness and strength. The children are being raised as cosmopolitan polyglots and budding entrepreneurs. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., a talented footballer in his own right, is not just training at academy level, he is also included in brand meetings, learning the business from the inside. The twins, Eva and Matteo, and Alana, are often featured in tasteful, protected ways in campaigns for children's wear or educational apps the family invests in. Their daily life, while lavishly private, is structured to instill the same discipline that defines their parents. Screen time is limited and educational, outdoor activities and sports are mandatory, family vacations are now less about overt display and more about curated experiences that can be translated into content for their planned media ventures, like a safari focused on conservation or a skiing trip highlighting resilience. The tragic loss of their son Angel remains a profound unifying force, turning their public gaze increasingly towards charitable work, supporting infant health and bereaved parents. Their home in Riyadh is designed as a self-sufficient wellness retreat. It includes a full-size indoor pitch with climate control, a rehabilitation center with hydrotherapy pools, and even a small organic garden where the children learn to grow vegetables, connecting them to the source of their food. Georgina often shares snippets of these moments, Ronaldo helping Matteo with a school project, or the family cooking a traditional Portuguese meal together, crafting an image of a down-to-earth dynasty. This carefully balanced display of supreme achievement and relatable family values is their most powerful commercial asset. The strategic blueprint for 2025 and the years immediately following is focused on institutionalization and impact. 1. The 2026 World Cup and Final Athletic Act. Every decision in 2025 is made with the North American World Cup in mind. His club season will be managed with periods of strategic rest. He is already working with the Portuguese national team staff on a customized load management plan. His goal is to arrive at the tournament not just as a participant, but as the physical and mental leader of a squad, blending golden generation veterans with exciting new talent, aiming for a storybook finale. 2. Launch of the CR7 ecosystem. This is the culmination of his commercial vision. Slated for a mid-2025 rollout, it is an ambitious digital and physical network. It includes the CR7 Performance app, fitness and wellness, the CR7 Legacy platform, a social network for aspiring athletes with mentoring, video analysis tools, and scout connections, and the CR7 Lifestyle Clubs, brick-and-mortar spaces in major cities, combining a high-end gym, a health-focused cafe, and retail space for CR7 and G. Rodriguez brands. This ecosystem aims to create a closed loop where fans don't just buy a product, they buy into the entire Ronaldo methodology of life. 3. Philanthropy as a cornerstone. Moving beyond donations, Ronaldo is establishing the CR7 Academy Network. The first flagship academy opening in Madeira in 2025 will be a fully residential school for gifted young footballers from underprivileged backgrounds, providing world-class coaching, academic education, and psychological support, essentially the nurturing environment he wished for as a boy. This model is planned for replication in Brazil, Angola, and Saudi Arabia. 4. Media and story ownership. To control their narrative definitively, the family is producing an authorized documentary series. Unlike previous films, this will be a multi-season, ongoing series, giving all access to his final playing years and the family's business build-up, released on their own branded channel via a major streaming partner. In conclusion, Part 5 of Cristiano Ronaldo's story reveals a man orchestrating his transition from a phenomenon to an institution. The hunger is no longer just for the next goal, but for the next generation of footballers, of businesses, of his own children. He is meticulously building a world where the principles that carved his path, obsessive work, resilient mentality, and family loyalty, are embedded into systems, brands, and academies that will perpetuate his influence long after his final match. The footballer is preparing to exit the stage, but the icon, the entrepreneur, the patriarch, and the philanthropist is positioning himself for a forever game.
As the final phase of Cristiano Ronaldo's active playing career unfolds, the narrative transcends the boundaries of sport entirely, morphing into a case study of legacy architecture on a scale rarely attempted. Part 6 examines the synthesis of all preceding elements: the athlete, the brand, the family man, and the philanthropist, into a cohesive, self-sustaining system designed for perpetual impact. The year 2025 stands not as an endpoint, but as the launchpad for this post-playing era, where the concept of CR7 evolves from a personal brand into a multi-dimensional institution. On the football pitch, Ronaldo's presence is now as much about mentorship and symbolism as it is about scoring. His training sessions at Al Nassr have become open classrooms. Young Saudi talents and experienced foreign signings alike observe not just his technique, but his pre-training routines, his focus during film analysis, and his meticulous recovery protocols. He has initiated a captain's council within the team, fostering a leadership group to instill his standards of professionalism and mental resilience. His physical preparation is a marvel of sports science, integrating AI-driven performance analytics that track everything from muscle fatigue to cognitive load, allowing his training to be adjusted in real time. This data-driven approach ensures he peaks precisely for crucial matches and maintains his body for the grueling schedule leading to the 2026 World Cup. His diet has been further personalized with nutrigenomics, a study of how his genes interact with nutrients, creating a food plan that is uniquely optimized for his physiology to reduce injury risk and enhance recovery. This scientific stewardship of his own body is his final masterpiece as an athlete, a blueprint he intends to commercialize for elite athletes worldwide. Beyond the club, his influence on Portuguese football is now institutional.
He is in regular consultation with the Portuguese Football Federation, advising on youth development structures and the psychological preparation of national team players. He has funded the installation of advanced sports technology at the national team's training complex, ensuring the next generation benefits from the tools that extended his own prime. His final season before the World Cup is a calculated victory lap and preparation tour, with every match, every interview, and every public appearance part of a grand strategy to enter the world's biggest sporting event as its most compelling story. The Ronaldo-Rodriguez household, in tandem, has solidified into a paradigm of modern, purposeful luxury. Their life in Riyadh is a meticulously managed ecosystem that blends absolute privacy with selective public exposure for brand building. Georgina Rodriguez now operates as the CEO of their family office, a business entity that manages their investments, brand deals, philanthropic ventures, and the family's global logistics. The children's lives are a balanced blend of normalcy and exceptional opportunity. Cristiano Jr.'s football development is monitored by a dedicated team, but he also attends regular school and is encouraged to pursue academic interests. The younger children have a schedule that includes language tutors. They are fluent in Portuguese, Spanish, English, and learning Arabic, music lessons, and sports, all designed to cultivate well-rounded individuals. Family time is deeply intentional. Weekends are for excursions, sometimes a private tour of a historical site in Saudi Arabia, other times a competitive games night at home. Ronaldo, despite his global stature, is intensely present in these moments, a trait his inner circle attributes to his own childhood longing for stability. The family's digital footprint, managed primarily by Georgina, is a masterclass in narrative control. It showcases a relatable, loving family that happens to live an extraordinary life, thus humanizing the Ronaldo brand and making it endlessly appealing to a massive, diverse audience. Their charitable work is fully integrated into family life. The children participate in packing food parcels for donations or visiting hospitals in carefully arranged private visits, learning the responsibility that comes with their privilege. The compound itself is a testament to this integrated philosophy. A wing is dedicated to the family's business operations, with offices and editing suites for content creation, while another wing is a serene family space with an indoor playground, cinema, and a library. This seamless blend of work, wellness, and family is the lifestyle product they are ultimately selling, a vision of achieved dreams that remain grounded. The strategic vision for 2025 and beyond is where all threads converge into a legacy tapestry. It is built on 4 interconnected pillars designed for longevity. Pillar 1, the 2026 World Cup and the finale. Every aspect of Ronaldo's 2025 is choreographed for this tournament. He will likely take a brief sabbatical from club football in the latter part of the 2025-26 season to enter a specialized, isolated training camp focused solely on peak conditioning for the World Cup. His role in the Portuguese team will be that of a talismanic leader and super sub, a weapon of immense psychological and technical power to be deployed at decisive moments. His ambition is to leave the world stage by potentially lifting the trophy, but his true victory is already in the unprecedented longevity and dedication displayed. Pillar 2, the CR7 conglomerate. 2025 marks the shift from brand to conglomerate. Key launches include CR7 Health Sciences, a venture developing evidence-based supplements, recovery devices, and personalized health diagnostics based on the data collected from Ronaldo's own career. CR7 Media Studios, which will produce not only their documentary, but also scripted and unscripted content around sports and inspiration, with distribution deals already being negotiated. CR7 Global Academies, a franchised model of football schools using his proprietary training methodology, with the first 5 locations across 3 continents opening in 2025. Georgina will concurrently launch G. Rodriguez Collective, a luxury platform encompassing fashion, interior design, and lifestyle content, directly tied into the CR7 ecosystem. Pillar 3, the Humanitarian Foundation. This moves from charitable giving to system problem solving. The major 2025 project is the Angels Hope Initiative, a global program funding research into prenatal health and supporting families who have experienced infant loss, a deeply personal mission born from their tragedy. Additionally, he is endowing university chairs in sports psychology and athletic longevity at universities in Portugal and Saudi Arabia, aiming to formalize the study of the mental and physical principles he embodied. Pillar 4, Family Governance. A formal family trust is being established in 2025 to manage the vast fortune and ensure the values, vision, and unity of the Ronaldo Rodriguez legacy preserved for future generations, turning the family itself into a sustained enterprise. In the final analysis, Cristiano Ronaldo's journey from the dusty streets of Funchal to the apex of global culture is the definitive story of 21st century self-creation. He has demonstrated that extraordinary talent is merely the entry ticket, and that true, lasting greatness is forged in the endless repetition of disciplined choices, resilient comebacks, and strategic foresight. As 2025 dawns, he is no longer just playing the game, he has redesigned it. He has built a legacy where his surname represents not just a history of goals, but a holistic philosophy of life, a philosophy of relentless improvement, unwavering family commitment, astute business acumen, and meaningful social contribution. The final whistle on his playing days will simply mark the transition from Cristiano Ronaldo the footballer to Ronaldo the institution, an entity built to inspire, empower, and endure for generations to come.